We were preparing for the worst. Didn't know if people were going to be coming ashore or if we was going to have to do a rescue or what, but the conditions, was waves coming right up to here.
Jeff Childs was one of the first to arrive in Cedar Cove on Newfoundland's west coast on February 15th, just as the winds smashed the Baltic III against the shore.
We didn't know if it was going to sink, if it was going to be people jumping overboard. We couldn't see nobody.
On board a crew of 20 waiting for rescue, on this day they actually lucked out and blew into the only beach for kilometers.
I had to put a boat ashore somewhere. This would be one of my picks right here to try to survive. Like least if you had to get off the boat, you may get ashore. If they went right there 200 feet, we would have been still picking up pieces yet, I think.
Because they landed here, the ship stayed intact and a rescue helicopter from Gander could reach them. But with the crews taken to safety, the ship remained on the beach, unable to move and filled with oil. It went from a rescue to one of the largest shipwreck cleanups Canada has faced in decades, and the clock is ticking.
So how important is lobster for you?
Oh, very, very important. Very important. In the last few years, lobster is probably 80% of people's incomes in this area.
The ship and its oil puts all of that at risk, and not just for Childs. Fishing is a way of life in the nearby town of Lark Harbour.
Why is it so important to get this done quickly?
If this oil don't get out, before hurricane season's potential that could break up and we could still have a spill.
And many others share his fears.
Until you're on top of it and you see the impact of it, you don't really understand. So it was shocking to me and upsetting, and I've been concerned from the moment I found out until now.
Jennifer Brake is the chief of the Halapu First Nations. She figures about 80% of the fishermen in this area are Indigenous, people who've been fishing these waters for generations.
If this isn't done right, and something does go wrong, what would that mean for your people?
It'd be devastating. Yeah, it would absolutely be devastating. All across Newfoundland, we have people that have counted on our waters to feed us and sustain us, and we don't want that to change.
The ship is owned by Mediterranean Shipping Company, the largest container shipper in the world. Cleaning it up is their responsibility. When the ship came ashore, it had 472 containers on board, carrying everything: small plastic beads, frozen meats, car parts, even bottles of whiskey.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Peter. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good. Welcome to the Incident Command Post here for the MSC Baltic.
For more than 30 years, Bruce English has responded to environmental cleanups with the Coast Guard. This is the biggest challenge he's faced.
We have another crew that's going to go out aboard of the Baltic today.
He's not worried about the containers. It's the 1,600 tons of heavy oil on board the ship that's priority number one, all tracked from this command center nearby.
Roger 224, departing dock, heading to Cedar Cove.
Today, we're getting to see the cleanup close up.
So we are going to be entering a restricted area around the Baltic, so hard hats are required because anything could come off the side.
This is one of the nicer days, but the North Atlantic here is rarely smooth. Crews were hoping to unload cargo containers today, but the winds and waves are still too strong, and they're running out of time. Rougher weather is coming, and the ship and the environment here are at risk. Today, the Coast Guard and a crew from Environment Canada are getting on board for an inspection.
So why do they have to go on board?
What they're doing today, the salvage company is moving some water from one of the holes to the other, and they're hoping to access one of the tanks that's in the bottom of the vessel and take a sample from it.
Pieces of oil are showing up on the beach in the form of these tar balls. Lab testing will pinpoint where on the ship they're coming from.
We want to understand the chemistry of these tar balls.
Mark Dalton with Environment and Climate Change Canada is overseeing the work on the ground to find them and remove them.
What's the environmental impact of those tar balls?
Well, they can have an environmental impact on the birds, certainly fish, insects that birds or fish might eat, all the way up the food chain.
It's been slow getting the oil off this ship so it doesn't end up as tar balls or worse. It took months just for specialized crew and equipment to get to the site. And removing the oil isn't easy. The tanks are full of heavy fuel oil, thick enough to walk on. To pump it out, They need to heat it up with steam for up to 7 days just to pump it into tanks on the deck. Then it needs to be pumped into barges before it's transferred onto another MSC ship and carried away.
Danger isn't the only thing this ship has brought to the beach here. It's also brought tourists who hike 45 minutes just to come and see it for themselves. And for a group of women at a local church, it's brought a business opportunity.
Anybody need a drink? Yes.
What's on the menu today?
This is an easy day for us. We have hamburgers and fries today.
Okay.
Coleslaw with it, of course. We have to have something in a veggie, other than potato.
Every day since the ship ended up here, Ruth Travers and these women at the nearby church have been extra busy.
Thank you, dear.
The cleanup company hired them to provide lunch for their workers. It was supposed to be just a few weeks.
They couldn't move the ship, and so they had to work with it there on the site. So that meant that we had to continue providing meals, which really has been a bonus for the church and good for us. We've made some money from it, of course, and the church needs the money.
The money they're making will be enough to buy heat pumps for the church. It's taken time, but crews are making progress. Most of the 1,600 tons of oil are off. There's still some residual oil in the tanks and about 150 more containers.
The big question everyone here is asking is, what's going to happen to this ship? There really are only two options. Either they're able to safely refloat it and tow it away, or they'll have to cut it up into small pieces.
How much uncertainty is there about the future?
Well, since day one, Peter, this is an uncertainty. That vessel is not meant to be on the rocks. It's not meant to be there. So every day that it's here, there is still concerns, and until it's fully removed, we'll remain concerned.